You are now watching part 2 of the program New World Order or the Reign of the Alien. If you haven't watched it yet, please start with part 1. Let's resume now with the explanation about the Schumann resonances frequency. What is currently more concerning is the impact of the increase of Schumann resonances frequency on our health. The Schumann resonances is a standing wave which is a bit like a background noise for all biological bodies on this planet. Human beings are disturbed by increased frequency. Though we do not perceive any change on the surface, we may feel more tired, have more headaches, and weaker immune systems. Let me take an example. If your car isn't designed to drive faster than 100 miles an hour, and you keep driving faster and faster beyond this limit, you should expect having problems sooner or later. Let me take another metaphor. If you want to break somebody down, you could bring him out of his usual environment. Bring a Westerner for the first time to the Chinese countryside, give him chopsticks to eat, rice 3 times a day. It would be destabilized pretty soon. A variety of experiments, such as the US Navy program HARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, involve high-power radio transmitters to modify the properties of the ionosphere. Based on Nikola Tesla series and Bernard Eastlund discoveries, the US government has found a way to develop the ultimate weapon, which is the HARP project. By sending waves into the ionosphere, the HARP antennas can increase the Schumann resonances and modify the Earth's electromagnetic field. Actually, earthquakes, global warming, climate change, extreme weather conditions all have a point in common: the HARP program. This technology can also be used to destroy any flying plane or missile and send ELF waves anywhere on the planet to mind control people. Finally, you must know that with HARP they can create at will thunderstrikes more destructive than nuclear explosions. Some keywords here: Nikola Tesla, Bernard Eastlund, HARP, and Schumann resonances, also known as SR. By the way, Tesla shared his discoveries with the Canadians, the Brits, and the Russians. The Russians master a lot of the technology too. As you can see, the world secret elite, which is controlling the American military and government, has the technological means to alter anyone's physical and mental health. It can weaponize climate and potentially control a geomagnetic reversal. The reason why they want to do this is to destabilize the people enough so they will give full authority to the one world government and be ready to welcome an alien revelation which will be a fraud. In part 2, we will now talk about the Bluebeam project and the alien revelation for the one world religion. Let me quote what the Bluebeam project is supposed to be. The Bluebeam project would have 4 steps. The first step concerns the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. It deals with staging earthquakes at certain precise locations around the planet, where supposed new discoveries will finally explain for them that the meanings of the basic doctrines of all the world's major religions are wrong. This falsification will be used to make the population believe that all the religious doctrine has been misunderstood and misinterpreted. This step would be destined to make people doubt about what they used to trust. The new religion would eventually be imposed to unify all religion and atheism in a very broad paradigm so that everybody could identify himself or herself with it. It would be a little bit like the concept of science in ancient Greece. The second step deals with a gigantic space show, 3D optical holograms and sounds, laser projection of multiple holographic images in different parts of the world, each receiving a different image according to its predetermined original national religious faith. This new God image will talk in all languages. As an example, the Soviets have manufactured the advanced computer and have programmed them with the minute psychological particles based upon their studies of the anatomy and biology of the human body as well as their studies on the anatomy, chemistry, and electricity of the human brain. These computers have also been fed with the different languages of the world. Holography is based on a very nearly identical signal combining images or hologram with depth perception. This is equally applicable to acoustic ELF, VLF, and LF waves as it is to optical phenomena. The various images of the Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, etc. will merge into one after correct explanation of the mysteries. Prophecies and revelations are disclosed. The one God will in fact function as the Antichrist, will explain that the various scriptures have been misunderstood, that the religious of the old are responsible for turning brother against brother, nations against nations, and that the religion of the world must be abolished to make way for the golden age, a new age of the one world religion representing the one God they see before them. The third step deals with telepathic electronic two-way communication, where ELF, extra low frequency, VLF, very low frequency, and LF, low frequency waves will reach the people of the earth through the inside of their brain, making each person believe that his own God is speaking to him from within his own soul. Such rays from satellite are fed from the memory of computers that store much data about the human being and his languages. These rays will then interlace and interweave with the natural thinking process to form what we call artificial talk. The fourth step involves universal supernatural manifestation using electronic means. This step contains three different orientations. The first one is to make mankind believe that an alien invasion is about to occur upon every major city on the earth. This is to put each major nation into using its nuclear capability to strike back. In this manner, it would put each of these nations in a state of full disarmament before the United Nations after the false attack. The second is to make the Christian believe that a major rapture is occurring, with a simple play divine intervention on an alleged good alien force coming to save the good people from a brutal satanic attack. Its goal is to get rid of all significant opposition to the New World Order. The third orientation is a mixture of electronic and supernatural forces. The waves, which are frequencies used at that time, will allow supernatural forces to travel through fiber optic cables, coaxial cable, electric and telephone lines in order to penetrate all electronic equipment and appliances, which will be by then have a special microchip installed. The goal of this step deals with the materialization of satanic ghosts, specters, and poltergeists all across the globe in order to push all populations to the edge of a wave of suicide, killing, and permanent psychological disorder. After that night of 1,000 stars, humanity is believed to be ready for them to welcome a new Messiah, to re-establish peace everywhere at any cost, even at the cost of freedom. Their goal is to build a worldwide dictature and control all the planet's natural resources. To be continued in part 3.